This is Michael Monroe from a Better Complete Development Engineering firm, and this is part 2 of my Introduction to Property Inspector 4.0. This video introduces the Interactive Window Manager. Editing LabVIEW code is a 5-step process. First you have to find the VI, then open it, switch to the block diagram, edit the VI, save your changes, and then close the VI. Property Inspector automates programming in LabVIEW by performing all 5 operations on multiple VIs in parallel. On the left, I have the Project Explorer window with 10 VIs that I want to work on today. I need to open the block diagram of all these VIs. I would like to press Ctrl E to go straight to the diagrams. Now I can right-click and open all these VIs at once. To get to the block diagrams from here is 19 more steps. From each front panel, press Ctrl E to show the block diagram. After the 19 steps, I have a window stack of alternating front panels and block diagrams. It takes 9 more steps to bring the diagrams to the front, or 10 steps to minimize the front panels. Here is the All Windows dialog. It displays all of the open windows and can sort by any of these columns. Note that you can select multiple objects to save and to close, but not to show. There are 5 major issues with this dialog. First, it is modal. Second, it is single select to show. Third, I cannot sort by the block diagrams. They are interleaved into the results. Fourth, I cannot open the block diagram of a VI if it's not already open. Fifth, it is forgetful. If I wanted to select all 10 block diagrams one at a time, I can double-click the first in the window, and when I return to this dialog, it doesn't remember where I was. On the right is Property Inspector 4.0. This powerful project utility includes over 20 impossible features to manage multiple VIs. Let's start with Select from Project. Then on the View menu, Show Block Diagrams. Shortcut Ctrl E. Now I have 10 block diagrams open with no front panels visible. Why is this important, you ask? Because all large projects have VIs that are written in categories, like the batch module that I just showed. This project has 55 classes in a hierarchy that is 5 levels deep and up to 5 levels wide. This means there are multiple override VIs with the same name, all with similar code. I want to work on those VIs together. Here is an example. Here is another example. Here is a third example. From this search, I can select all and open all the block diagrams at once. Let's select all of these VIs in the Project Explorer window. If there are too many VIs to open at once, I can select a group and open them first. Then I can press Next for the next group, or Previous to go back. Depending upon the count, I can also select Invert. If I make a mistake, I can use Select Previous to go back one selection. I have a group of 12 for this demo, but on my 30-inch monitor I use 20. For the rest of this demo, I will not show my customer's code. Instead, I will show the block diagrams of the assessor VIs. First, I'll close open windows. Notice that I don't have to select the windows first. Then, deselect these override VIs, turn off the filter, and let's hide some objects. Under Settings, I can filter the view by 20 categories. I will hide 19 of the 20 and only show VIs. Let's run a compound search. Here are all the Read Assessor VIs in the project. From here I can select all and run scripts to clean up all VIs, but for this demo I will focus on just one group. First, let's sort this list by VI name. Notice this first item has 2 spaces in the name. That's hard to catch. Then select Group. Since I will only be working on this group, I will hide all the other VIs with Select Show Only Selected Items. This window is starting to look a lot like the All Windows dialog. Let's first open the front panels. Property Inspector supports 3 window arrangement functions. First is Cascade. Notice the VIs are in alphabetical order from top to bottom. Let's go back to Property Inspector and reverse the sorting. Now cascade again. Notice I have complete control of the order of the windows. Let's go back to the VI name order and tile the front panels. Here are all the panels evenly distributed on the screen. This tile function is unique in that it does not change the size of the panel, just the location. If I edit these VIs, LabVIEW will save this position. If I don't want that, I can go back to Property Inspector and select Stack, and then save Selected. Now let us close selected windows. Now let's open the block diagrams by pressing Ctrl E. Here are 12 block diagrams with no front panels visible. Let's tile the VIs. Here are all 12 block diagrams evenly distributed on the screen. All three window functions ignore VIs that are hidden or minimized. Notice that LabVIEW duplicates the entire pull-down menu on each VI, but the Property Inspector menu applies to all VIs in parallel. I will make 4 separate edits to some or all VIs using different methods. First is a quick manual cleanup. After this, I'll run a custom script I wrote to center the unbundle. Both VI Analyzer and QuickDrop scripts automatically open the VI, run the script, save and close the VI. To keep the VIs open, I will disable the close step. Under Settings, Disable Close Item. Now I'll run the VI script center unbundle. A simple Ctrl E will bring all 12 diagrams back to the front. Next, I want to run a VI script to set the icon view. There are 3 ways I can do this. First, I can just run the script on all VIs. Second, I can run a custom search script I wrote to detect if any terminals are not icon view. Or third, I can interactively select which VIs I want. Let's go with the interactive method. I will manually minimize some VIs that I want to skip because they're already icon view. Now only the VIs that I want to run a script on are visible. I need to update my selection to match. Select Open Windows. This searches all the results to see if either front panel or block diagram is open and not minimized. Now the selection matches the windows that are visible. Let's run the script on the visible windows. I need to run one more script on all 12 VIs. For this, I want to go back to the previous selection. There are several ways to do this, including Select Previous or Select All. But if I'm working in groups, there may be other items still visible. The best feature for this is Select Opened Windows. Property Inspector keeps track of all windows that have been opened and can select them in the list. Now I can show all block diagrams again and run the QuickDrop script Natify on all 12 VIs. I need to enter a P to skip the panel cleanup, since these front panels are colored by function. This is a popular script written by Darren Nadinger that sets 10 VI preferences. I customized mine for my preferences. All VIs have already been positioned and saved. All I have to do is close opened windows. This function flushes the open window history. 2 other features I already covered in the first video. Run a compound search of reentrant VIs in memory. Enable retain wire values. Select group. Open first clone diagram. Here are 12 clone VIs open, showing the block diagram and with retain wire values enabled. I have to mention that I cannot arrange clone diagrams. Property Inspector 4.0 is now available in the NI Tools network, or you can find it directly in VI Package Manager.